Well, today's one of the first cool days we've had in quite some time this summer. Here we are in the middle of August, and it reminds us that wheat planting time is not too far away. One thing I wanted to talk to you about today was crop residue, particularly wheat stubble, and the effect that it can have on a developing wheat crop, particularly in the springtime. We've seen time and time again where heavy blankets of wheat straw in a field can actually act as a blanket, holding the heat from the soil in, not allowing it to escape, and to help warm the canopy in the springtime when temperatures get cold. Consequently, those fields with the heaviest residue are the ones that most often have the most severe damage from freeze. Now, I'm not recommending everybody go out and work up all their wheat stubble or work up all their corn stalks, but if you are having problems with freeze damage, if you plant a little bit earlier in the season where you may break dormancy early and have a tendency to get froze, tickling this stubble a little bit with a vertitill or a very, very light disking might be something that would help mitigate some of the problems that can occur when you have a heavy residue mat out there in the springtime.
Hi, Mark Lubbers, WestBred Technical Product Manager for the Central Plains. And we're about 3 weeks away from the start of planting, and there's 2 planting tips I want to provide today. First of all, it has been incredibly dry since harvest time, so there may be a fair amount of remnant wheat seeds still in your fields, whether it's through hail damage or through harvest loss from the combine. So be on the lookout, especially if we get a shower or pop-up thunderstorm that could surface germinate that remnant seed and subsequently causing volunteer wheat harboring wheat curl mites, adding to the potential risk for wheat streak mosaic. The second planting tip is because it has been so dry and we're getting close to planting, hopefully we get some rain and it's not a problem. But if you do find yourself in a position where you're having to plant in dry dirt, make sure you're planting 1.5 inches deep and make sure you're adjusting those seeding rates. So if we don't get rain for 2 to 3 weeks after your normal planting date, you need to make sure you're bumping those seeding rates up to accommodate for that later emerging wheat crop than what would normally occur.
Hey there, I'm Justin Berg, Technical Product Manager for WestBred for the Northern Region. Today I'm standing in a field of spring canola, and I wanted to talk a little bit about winter wheat and give a few tips for guys that are looking to seed winter wheat this fall. When they're selecting a variety to seed, one thing to look at would be winter hardiness ratings. With WestBred, we have WB 4422 and WB 4309 and also Keldon. All 3 of these varieties have great winter hardiness ratings for our area. When they're seeding winter wheat, I'd recommend seeding it at about a 1.2 to 1.3 million pure live seeds per acre rate. And I'd also recommend getting it in the ground at about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. This will ensure those seedlings get out of the ground as quickly as possible. The last thing I want to touch on is residue management. In a field like canola, when you're harvesting the canola, I would recommend leaving that stubble as high as possible, whether it be harvesting it straight cutting or swathing it. This will ensure a good snow catch throughout the winter, providing a good insulating layer for those winter wheat seedlings. If you have any other questions, visit westbred.com or reach out to your local WestBred retailer.